What's up, everyone? It is Books and Looks TV. Today, I will be talking about the topic of Featurism. Now, for those of you who don't know, I made a video that kind of went viral, and it talks about dark-skinned women who have pretty privilege, or it debates the topic: can dark-skinned women have pretty privilege if they are not deemed as desirable? And the more I got to think about it, that kind of leads on to what Featurism is. What made me make this video is because I hear a lot of people say Glorilla is ugly, and they say that icespice is desirable. Now, if you aren't very, I guess, hip to the academia of Featurism and Colorism and all those isms, you probably would think, well, they both just light skinned rappers. But there is a big reason why both of them are compared, and that's because of Featurism. And so, before we get any further, I'm going to define what Featurism is. So basically, to keep it simple, featurism is society accepting or preferring certain features over the other. It is basically deemed in Eurocentric beauty standards. So the closer you look to white or have European like or European features, you're deemed as beautiful. Futurism is often correlated to race or phenotype. For instance, a lot of people from West and Central Africa have broad noses and coily hair. And this is because the climates in that region are usually hot. And so God did preserve our features to be that way for us to survive. So people with broader nose can inhale more air, and the coily hair can protect our head from the sun. This has been passed on through genetics no matter where we live in the world. So usually if you see a black woman, you know she's a black woman because of her phenotype. However, due to white supremacy and colonialism, most people do not value looking black or deem it as beautiful. And the reason why I think that personally, because if you ask someone, oh, you look mixed, or are you mixed with something, they will usually say that they're black last. For instance, you can say, oh my gosh, like you have this or that feature. Oh yeah, I'm Irish and Puerto Rican and black. Like people say it like it's something bad. But anyways, unless a lot of people can benefit from their blackness, they don't really deem it as beautiful. So for the case of Glorilla and Ice Spice, you can obviously see how this may play a role. Now, I'm from Memphis, just like Glorilla, and where I'm from, of course, Glorilla would be considered desirable. She is light skinned and what some people would consider a red bone. Now, Ice Spice, on the other hand, would be considered high yellow from where I live in the South, because she looks damn near white. Back to the mention of broad noses. Now, Glorilla obviously has a typical black or African nose. However, Ice Spice really doesn't have that. I mean, noses can be different shapes, but you can't see Glorilla has a wider nose, and I do feel like a lot of people depict her being unattractive because of that. Next, I'm going to talk about hair type. I have never seen Glorilla's hair, but I bet 9 times out of 10 she has type 4 hair. Now, obviously, Ice Spice has this loose, curly hair, and a lot of people, even in the natural hair community, have tried to get that look. When they think of, oh, I'm going natural, they hope that their curls will be loose like that. But unless you have some type of usually mixed blood, or if you're biracial, you're not going to have their hair type. And again, Ice Spice has their hair type, and she has naturally red hair, so that also makes her desirable. Next is the topic of voice. Glorilla has this raspy, deep voice that is often deemed as masculine.
On the gun. He got 99 problems and the biggest one is me.
She acknowledged that her voice became that way after she became a smoker. For some of you who may or may not know, Glorilla initially was a singer and wanted to be a singer instead of a rapper. However, after smoking and ruining her voice, she decided to stick with rapping. A lot of people mock Glorilla for her voice, and other people think it's what makes her unique and naturally aggressive with her flow. Even Glorilla's vernacular is seen as unintelligent and hard to understand.
Hold on. I gotta say this one time, cause y'all made me go viral by saying Charlie. That ain't how you say it. What you say?
It's Charlotte, bro.
Because she is from the South and from the hood. So it is what it is. Spice, on the other hand, has a soft and sultry voice that is deemed as more feminine, dainty, and laid
Get what I
back.
want, like, you thought I was feeling you? No, I was feeling you. That nigga a munch. Nigga either he ate it for lunch. Bitch, I'm a baddie, I get what I want, like, bitch, I'm a
Next, I'll talk about body shape. Glorilla caught a lot of slack for being a naturally thin rapper. In the land of BBLs and entertainment, some pressed if she would change herself. She pretty much responded similarly to Soulja Boy when he was body shamed and said she loved her body and being small. I'd like to add, in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with Glorilla's body. I know people say that a lot, but Glorilla to me is thin or like a healthy body weight. Like she reminds me similar to Kelly Rowland. Like even though they're small, they look like they're healthy. Glorilla to me looks like she eats. She just happens to have a small frame. And being from Memphis, you gon' eat. Ice Spice appears to be naturally thick, and that is acceptable in this day and age of entertainment. If she lacks stage presence, she will bend over and twerk, and it excites the crowd. And I ain't gonna lie, I can't get mad about that if people exercise what they had to exploit patriarchy. But it does kind of like make you think like again about body types in general. Ice Spice doesn't phenotypically look like a black woman to me, other than yeah, she got curly hair, but she's also very shapely, which a lot of black women are. I would like to add that I believe because of Ice Spice's sex appeal, that she can rely on that more than her talent, and it helps her maneuver into the female rap industry. But because Glorilla doesn't have the futurism of an ambiguous woman, she does have to rely more so on her talent. Also, she is more fun and more of a tomboy to me than Ice Spice is. Honestly, I hate to say it, but I do believe if Glorilla did have more featurisms or more so of a curvy body, that she would get more privileges. But again, she just happens to be talented, and because she doesn't have the advantage that Ice Spice has in the rap industry, she has to be very talented, and she has proven herself to be that. And though I do like Glorilla, I must also add that her counterparts are equally as talented. But for instance, the rap group she was in, there are girls who did get signed and they are equally as talented, but Glorilla happened to blow up more so. I'm not trying to pit them against each other, but I did realize a lot of those girls are darker, even brown skinned, and they did not get the same privileges that Glorilla had. Glorilla's light skin does benefit her in that way, but again, you do see how Featurism plays a bit of a hierarchy where Ice Spice does get pushed more, and that's pretty much the sum of this video. So as you can see, all of these things contribute to Featurism. Some people feel like Ice Spice has had more opportunities than Glorilla, though she is not as talented. Both women have had hit features in the hood. Glorilla was hyped up by her friends in the empty parking lot in North Memphis. Spice was in front of the bodega and projects in the Bronx in her viral song. While one is seen as more ratchet and ugly, the other is seen as desirable. Yet they both have lighter skin. To me, and personally, I feel like they both have had many opportunities rather quickly as female rappers. Yet it is obvious that Glorilla has worked very hard for years and produced tons of songs solo and with the rap group. So when people say Glorilla is ugly and lust over Ice Spice, I'm pretty sure it has everything to do with Featurism. And in this society, the less black and the more ambiguous you look, you pretty much are the prize. That's all I have to say about this. Let me know what you think in the comments, and thank you for watching Books and Looks TV. Until next time.